We have some brand new Fox polls that have just come out suggesting that the Republican race may be starting to shake itself out a little bit in these numbers. Donald Trump holding his lead nationally. He's at 26%. He's been really in that zone for quite some time. Ben Carson at 23%, a similar picture to what we have seen over the past 10 days, 2 weeks for the most part. Those are well within the margin of error. Only two other candidates are in double digits in the race right now. So are we seeing the formulation of a second tier here that is confirming a little bit or shaking out a little bit? You've got Senator Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio neck and neck. Meanwhile, Trump stepping up his attacks on the others.
I don't really understand the Ben Carson thing because he's not going to be able to negotiate with China and trade. He knows nothing about it. I don't believe that he can do well with any of the trade pacts. I don't believe he can do well with the military. I like him as a person, but it's just not going to happen.
Marco Rubio has a disaster on his finances. He has a disaster on his credit cards. When you check his credit cards, take a look at what he's done with the Republican Party when he had access, what he had to put back in, and whether or not something should have happened.
Jeb is a low-energy person. Ben Carson is super low energy. I mean, you need there's an article today that he falls asleep every time he gets into a car.
I mean, you can't make it up, right? Chief political correspondent Carl Cameron joins us live in Concord, New Hampshire this morning. Carl.
Hi, Martha. Well, the battle between these candidates is obviously amplifying virtually every day. But now comes the stage of the campaign where every morning when we talk, I'm going to have to remind everybody that the national polls don't mean a lot because the race starts in Iowa and New Hampshire, the first in the nation caucus and primary states. And in these two incredibly important states, here standing in the State House of New Hampshire, voters don't make up their minds until the last couple of weeks before the primary because it's like a movie. They know that you're not going to spend $20 for a ticket and $10 for a soda and then walk out halfway through. Nowadays, you got to wait until after the credits because you might see some really funny outtakes. And last time around, Hillary Clinton didn't cry until the last week before the election here in New Hampshire, and that saved her after having lost in Iowa. So national polls being what they are, here's where it's happening. And yesterday we had Donald Trump here filing the first Republican candidate for the ballot, Martin O'Malley, the Democrat, the first Democrat to do so. And in just a short time, Marco Rubio will be here, and he'll do so. And Marco Rubio and Jeb Bush and Donald Trump are in a battle. Yesterday, Trump dumped all over Marco Rubio, and we caught up with him here in the Granite State, the first of the nation primary state, and asked him a little bit about it. And he was amusingly benevolent towards Trump, who's been giving him a hard time about his credit cards and his personal spending over the years, which he says, if you look at it, is not an issue, but still Trump is raising questions. Watch.
Well, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't have any debt in the world except my mortgage on our home that I own with our family. But he always gets weird whenever his poll numbers get a little down. He kind of goes off a little bit. So I guess that's what's happening. We're going to focus on our campaign, and we'll pray for Donald that he'll find some peace.
In the next couple of seconds, there will be pandemonium here as Rubio and his entourage packs this small suite of offices in the State House. Yesterday, when Trump was here, one of his staffers was essentially trying to unpeel a Trump sticker, and it ended up on the 100-year-old antique desk, and the staffers had to take it off with peanut butter. 100-year-old desk, 100-year-old primary, and bumper stickers don't mix in a building like this.
That's not a great metaphor. Okay. Carl, thank you very much.